Hello and welcome to a late weekend pandemic update video for Sunday night, October 30th, 2022. Starting off with the CDC transmission map, you will see here that 25.79% of the country is in high transmission, 36.47% is in substantial, 28.46% is in moderate, and low makes up 9.28% of the counties. The Northeast and Great Lakes regions now has the highest level of high transmission and substantial transmission. Much of the South is now in moderate transmission, and much of the West Coast is moderate to substantial transmission. Puerto Rico also remains in relatively large portion of the area of high transmission, and Puerto Rico is actually starting to go up again in terms of cases. Take a look at the varying proportions. There's a lot of them. BA.5, 49.6% of the cases. BQ.1, 14% of the cases. BQ.1.1, 13.1% of the cases. BA.4, 0.6, 9.6% of the cases. BF.7, 7.5% of the cases. BA.5, 0.2, 0.6, 2.8% of the cases. BA.2.75, 1.8% of the cases. BA 2.75.2, 1.2% of the cases, and the old BA.4 is just 0.2% of the cases. Speaking of cases, not a lot of cases today. Not many states updated today. 4,784 cases added today, just 2 deaths today, 84,824 new tests have been conducted. Hospitalizations dropped by 303 to 26,555. Currently in ICU, 3,066. That's down by 51. New York State reported today 3,516 cases. Puerto Rico, 889 cases. Arkansas, 103. And Connecticut, 276 cases. Speaking of New York State, the positivity in New York State today was 6.2%. Taking a look at New York State hospitalizations, 2,854 people in the hospital, 277 are in the ICU in New York State. Taking a look at the HHS COVID dashboard, you will see that currently, on HHS, here it goes, 26,997,000, so that is down again. I expect it will rise again later this week to roughly somewhere between 28 and 29,000. And 3.84% of the beds are used for coronavirus. 77.13% of all beds are currently in use. Walgreens dashboard. 27.9% is the national positivity. That's a difference of 1.3%, so that is going up. And let's take a look at some of these bright red colors. Indiana. Indiana is now up to 33% positivity rate. That's up by 9.2%. Montana, 27.9% positivity rate. Mississippi, 19.7% positive. Florida's at 22.9% positive, continuing to go up, but did slow down ever so slightly this weekend. Alaska's at 17.5% positive. How about Hawaii? Hawaii's at 29.4% positive. They're starting to trend upward again, so that's relatively concerning. Let's take a look at New York State, shall we? New York State is also trending straight up. Look at this. Wow. And this is an early warning indicator that New York cases are going to start going up relatively soon. 36.4% positivity in New York State. Connecticut's also rising sharply. As you can see here, there's the biggest rise we've seen yet this fall in Connecticut. 32.1% positivity. That's up by 4%. Take a look at a couple more here. Let's take a look at Iowa. Iowa's at 23.7% positivity. How about Maryland? Where's Maryland at? Maryland has 33.2% positivity. California is continuing to rise here ever so slightly. You can see here it did once, then it dropped. Now it's trying again. So it's at 26.6% positivity in California, which is up by 1.4%. But the key takeaway here is that testing continues to be slightly down week over week. We'll see if we can get that to go up this week. I'm not too convinced that we'll be able to. Alright, moving on to the Texas COVID dashboard. No update here this weekend, but here's the latest number. 1,042 people in the hospital in Texas, and their positivity rate is down to 5.94%. And if we zoom this in, you can see here, it's been continuing to gradually decrease. I mean, just about a week ago, they were at 6.85. So it's dropped another percent. How low will it go? I don't know. Alright, coming up this week, we expect to see a lot more data from the hospitalizations this week. We'll see if the BQ.1 and BQ.1.1 continue to draw an increase, especially in New York State. Pennsylvania's been averaging slightly higher now as well. We were in our state trending for the longest time between 1,500 and just over 1,700. Now it's closer to 1,600 to just over 1,800 at times in terms of hospitalizations. And I think it's only a matter of time till Pennsylvania passes 2,000 hospitalizations. It's going to come pretty soon. I mean, there are a ton of mass gathering events going on in this state that I would be shocked if they don't spawn any increase in cases. I do not buy the case numbers that are coming out from my state. We reported 8,000 some cases last week. That's got to be way off. And same could be said for the rest of the country. The South, it's legitimate. The South is in low transmission right now, but that's not going to last much longer. I think that's going to eventually shift. Halloween may cause a slight bump in cases, but historically Halloween has not. The fact that what's more concerning with Halloween this year is kids trick-or-treating with RSV going around, flu going around. It's relatively concerning at this point, and we'll see what happens. I think we did kind of get lucky. A lot of people may disagree with me on this. The early rise in flu and RSV, if it had to happen at a good time, there's never a good time for it. I think right now is a much better time for it to happen than, say, a month from now at Thanksgiving. And who's to say what's going to happen? We don't know what's going to happen around Thanksgiving time with all these viruses. We do know coronavirus is going to rise, but I would hope maybe at that point we have hit the peak of infections for RSV. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm going to have an update on that with the latest data. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. We'll definitely have a pandemic update tomorrow. And there'll be some more videos coming to the channel this week. Alright, thanks for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and remember to hit like and subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.